Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another Sunday. It's another week. More of this shit. Feels like these are coming up faster and faster. Am I right? I don't know about you folks, but the time in between the Sundays feels like it's compressing when suddenly you have very little to differentiate your days. It's another day waking up in a pandemic where at least 5 traumatic things happen in the news. Starts to feel as repetitive as brushing your teeth. Anyway, who has ever been to a live TV show taping before, huh? People remarking on my Oreos, a chocolate peanut butter pie. This is truly the connoisseur's Oreo. Better than regular peanut butter or even regular chocolate peanut butter Oreos, because the difference is that the cookies taste like the pie crust. That's the trick. It's not your standard Oreo cookie. It's a little bit of a pie crust character in the cookie itself, and then the cream tastes like peanut butter pie filling and chocolate. This is all I have to look forward to in my life. Both this show every Sunday and then also funny Oreo flavors. Folks, listen. Usually I am the warm-up comedian for our show back when we were a live show in front of a live studio audience. Now we're a web series. And, audience reaction doesn't work the same way. I can't say, oh, give me a big laugh, give me a big applause. None of these matters anymore, much like nothing in society matters anymore. So this is what we need to do, okay? We need to test out how things look in the live chat. So I want you to act. Sometimes I say, right, ha, 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 right, oh. No, it seems insincere. George doesn't fall for it. I want you to play the role of someone in the live chat reacting honestly to these things. So don't say, ha, ha, ha. I want you to all test out, what would you type if something funny happened? Maybe something like, I like this joke. I appreciate it. It makes me laugh. Watto, you're so funny. Snort, that was funny. Applause, wow, so fun. These are great. Okay, now, what would you type if something very problematic happened on the show? If you were begging for our cancellation, both as a show and as individuals, what would you type? Well, don't type Watto as a comedic genius in those circumstances. We've moved on. There we go. Yikes. Yikes. Eesh. Oh, no. Yes. Okay. Now, what would you type if unexpectedly, the show hit you in the heartstrings? The show took a touching turn. What would you write? Super funny. We shouldn't cancel them. This is adorable. Out my heart. Oh, yes, Watto. Medic. I feel like now the messages for all 3 sentiments are getting mixed in together. And that's how you should feel at any moment of the George Lucas talk show. You should be laughing. You should be unexpectedly Why can't I say that word today? Unexpectedly moved. And you should be begging for a cancellation. Look, I've made everything too complicated. Let's focus on the easiest way to show your support. Let's throw some hashtags, Bryson. Hashtag Emera Green Grass Sudi. That's a walk. Hashtag Saturday Night Live got a bad feeling about this. Hashtag Rob Turn of the Jedi. Hashtag Paulsen Squaddy. I know this is the Quatsi trilogy is what this is. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Hashtag Animaniac Mansion. I got to admit, that one got me. That one's funny. Okay, come on, let's start the show.
Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show, the 37,841st most popular television show or movie on the Internet Movie Database currently. That's our current rank. We are at 37,841. We're down 1,588 slots from the previous week. And this is something we're tracking because we want the show, obviously, to appeal to people. We want it to be popular. And this is our only metric for that, other than, of course, your feedback in the comments, which is always appreciated. Watto, it's so nice to see you.
Oh, nice to see you as well, George.
How are you doing?
Horribly. How are you?
Yeah. Oh, terrible. It's a horrible time,
The
isn't
worst. Absolutely the worst.
Really
It's
bad.
really feeling like Revenge of the Sith out there, isn't it?
No, because that movie feels great. It's a great accomplishment. Oh, I get you.
I'm not saying it feels like...
Yes, in-world.
It feels in-world. It feels like
Yes.
we are living within Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, but not. It does not. I would give anything for the wonderful feeling that America had when they went into the movie theater.
I wish I was back seeing Revenge of the Sith, not living Revenge of the Sith. That's the distinction.
Right, and some people are going back into the movie theaters, but at a certain degree of risk.
Yes, right. It's going to the movie theaters these days is like going for a swim on Mustafar.
It's very funny. I want to encourage people to be safe,
yeah.
And if you have the desire to go to a movie theater and you're concerned, just go to your own private screening room that you have on your property.
Yes. Much better option. Yes.
Safer.
Yes.
It's the same quality as far as I can tell. A full THX sound system, wonderful projection facilities.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Pat Sudi, aka Pat the Rat.
Don't go to a movie theater unless it's your own private movie theater. That's my...
Go to your own private movie theater. Go, and these days you can have your own private movie theater can fit on your telephone.
It can. And that is the way you always wanted it, George. I remember, because you were so forward-thinking about technology, saying, let's make editing non-linear, right? Let's make the sound digital. And we would go, you'd bring me over to see early cuts of the films, and you'd go, the screen's too big. The screen's too big. I wish I could shrink it down.
Yeah, and it's true. And, you know, decades ago, if I said, watch a movie on your phone, people would say, well, how am I...
Bring.
How am I? Hello? I'm not getting the movie.
Hello?
I don't. This isn't working.
Hello.
Now it's a whole different story. You can watch a movie on your phone in the privacy of your home. And if you don't have a disease and your phone is covered in some sort of a disease, you should be fine. If your phone is covered with a disease, clean it. Don't
absolutely. George, can I address a major controversy? I'm sorry, Pat the Rat. I know you want to sneak in there with your sneaky.
I know you want to sneak in, Pat the Rat. I saw you sneaking in there.
Little sneaky. To take a piece of Swiss cheese from under our noses.
Right.
That's what you want to do. You want to crawl in the holes of that cheese. No, what I want to say is I've been seeing in the chat, people keep on saying, oh my God, Watto sounds so much like Triumph, the insult comic dog. People are saying these things. Why doesn't Watto sound like himself? He sounds like Triumph, the insult comic dog. I want to point out a couple of things, okay?
Yeah, two things.
First of all, I'm an actor, okay? This is Watto, the real Toydarian, the real CGI American that you are seeing on this show. The Watto in the Phantom Menace trilogy, that's a character I play. That's a voice I affect. I can sound just like that if I want to. Ready?
Move to 2.
Right.
Annie, little Annie, how are you doing? No one wants to hear that for an entire live stream. That's on the. There's not range. That was a limited character. I did it for the. Oh, maybe we can make a deal. That's not sustainable.
I would say that's a $25,000 stretch goal.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. On one of our future live streams, or actually, let's do this anytime. Even when we're not raising money for charity, if a single donor donates $25,000, Then
Yeah.
Watto will do his stage.
I'll do an entire charity live stream, something like this, and you will regret it because it will get very annoying to listen to very quickly.
Now, to me, it sounds
it's like hearing the season 1 Homer Simpson voice, and you're like, it just sounds weird now.
It sounds wrong now because now you've gotten to know the real me. Point number two.
Number 2.
Number 2. Here we are, the second one.
Okay, so this is my real voice, right? This is my real talking voice. Point number 2. Fucking Triumph. He and I went to college together. He lifted a lot from me. We went to DeVry Technical Institute. Let me tell you, he was lifted from me.
Yeah, I would say that you are the Bill Hicks to his Dennis Leary. If that's a fair comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now,
Also, no disrespect to the great Robert Smigel, but you can see his wrist a lot of the times, and it's very obvious that Triumph is a practical character.
Yes. No.
What?
None of that here. This is flawless digital technology.
Yeah. That's right.
guys, before we get started, I want to say something.
We haven't started. Oh, this is
we haven't started.
Why am I giving my best if we haven't started?
This is like, we all know that this is the first 20 minutes of WTF. A lot of people skip through it. Last week, we got Chris Eliopoulos made a picture of us. He drew a picture of the three of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said they wanted a copy of it.
People wanted the picture.
Quoting real people. Real people said this.
Multiple people reached out to me specifically, said they wanted a copy of it. So here's what we're going to do. If you guys want a copy of it, if you donate $25 or more to Planet Scum, we will send you a signed print of the photo that Chris Eliopoulos made, signed by George, Watto, and myself, and it'll get to you very soon. So,
limited time offer, $25, high quality print signed by the three amigos.
That's right. And with a facsimile, a reproduction of Chris's signature. It won't be his signature will be seen, but it'll be it'll be a copy of that. But our signatures will be real. Yeah.
So there's I don't want to say it. There's a button down below that says
support the show.
And if you donate through that,
Patrick, it would be nice to hear you sing it just by yourself, so we have it clean.
Just clean. We'll have one take clean.
Yeah.
Give us one take clean.
Right.
There's a button down below that says support the show. It's right down there.
Little pitchy.
I know, it's fine. I'm not a singer. I never claimed to be.
We established last week that the button is not actually down below. It's to the top, right?
To the side.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. You guys should bring your guests on, right?
All right.
We got great guests this week, George. We got the hot show this week.
The hot show. I agree.
I mean, the credits are too numerous to mention, but let's just say, from Saturday Night Live, Sudi Green, and voiceover artistry legend Rob Paulsen.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So nice. Thank
Hello, George and Watto.
Yeah, there's one of those famous voices right off the bat. You're giving us one for free.
What the hell? I've got a song for you guys with respect to your button.
Please.
Pardon the expression. Please push the button for Christmas. Georgie and Watto are sad. Please push the button for Christmas. So Georgie and Watto are glad.
There we go.
That is Yakko endorsing the pushing of the button.
Yeah, Yakko always says not only fingerprints, but push your button. That's what I say.
He loves to push the button.
Yeah.
So wonderful. And just in time for the holiday season as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and start the holiday season.
We got the one. Look,
I didn't know that we were going to be singing, because I have friends that could have done like a piano thing.
No, Sudi, go ahead. Sudi, we'll let you sing.
Go ahead, Sudi.
Don't worry. Do the song.
Oh, I'd prefer actually to do like a spoken word thing.
It's
wonderful.
It's fine. Just do the song.
Could somebody do like a beat?
Yes.
Please support the show. Please support it and click the button.
Yes.
And I actually just made that up just right now. I don't know.
No, you didn't.
Sudi.
Yeah.
Sudi.
Sudi.
Which leads to my next question, Sudi. How much of SNL is improvised? All of it or none of
Great
it?
All of it.
Great.
All
I
of it?
would say everything from about 100% to 110%, including the celebrity monologues.
Wow. Well, you can't tell because it's such a polished show that I really thought I was out on a limb, but that just shows that you know your craft.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
I want to encourage because we have people out there who do fan art. If anyone wants to do any kind of remix that blends all three of the songs that we've heard so far, we'd love a club mix. It would be great. I know the clubs aren't open, but it might be cheer people up if they can in their home reproduce the feeling of a club while listening to the lyrics that tell people to support this show on Planet Scum.
Sudi, I have a follow-up question while we're on the subject of SNL. When are you going to let up on Trump? You know, it just feels like I've been watching SNL forever, and the show doesn't usually make fun of presidents.
Yeah, you know, I personally thought of this a lot because it just kind of feels like, you know, it feels like we're punching down sometimes.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, and I totally get that. But
why did punching down because he slipped and fell?
Yeah.
Hey, George, watch it, George.
I'm a San Francisco liberal. You're not going to get me to follow along with this line of questioning.
Look, I don't even like Trump. I'm not even saying I would vote for Trump. I just think that we haven't even given the guy a chance. He's had to deal with 4 years of the jokes and the japes. How is he expected to do his job? I don't like him. Personally, I don't like him. But I also think no one should make fun of him.
Right. And I understand that. But, you know, you could have also kind of think of it, Trump, kind of a funny guy. Like, I don't think he's purposely funny, but like his whole deal, you know, the hair, the kind of the way he talks, sort of his views, absurd.
But,
so maybe
it's the show.
He's funny in kind of a fascist orange chia pet way.
Yeah,
But he stole a lot of that stuff from me. This is getting back to the Triumph problem. A lot of that was lifted from me.
Mm-hmm.
We used to hang out because we shared the good friend Jeffrey Epstein, and then he fucked over Jeff in a way I was never able to forgive.
Let's move on.
Now, Rob, initially when we were prepping for the show, when we were doing a tech dress prep for the show, your intro lasted for hours because we read every single credit that you have on IMDb, which is hundreds and hundreds. And one thing that I had actually forgotten this, and you may have a fresher memory of it because you know, decades past.
Sure.
You auditioned for Howard the Duck.
I did, George, and Gloria and Howard Katz were up there at Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah.
As I recall, you were on your second or third divorce. I don't recall litigation.
One divorce.
That's the one. It's such a bad divorce that it feels like it was 4 or 5 divorces in one.
Right.
But it was,
I get it, and you were not there, but look, I opened my mouth to change feet. I'm so sorry, but what we were doing was an ADR session for Howard the Duck, and I have to tell you, and I did not say it to Gloria Katz, but
this is an exclusive.
It looked like a guy in a duck suit. Period.
Right.
And that's what I thought.
It's one of my deepest regrets is that we made that film before we could do a completely CGI Howard. Obviously now the folks at Marvel, when they're making the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and they throw in a little Howard the Duck, he's fully CGI. And I'll be the first to admit, I know you just admitted it, I'll be the first to admit that it actually does look like a man in a duck suit. But
it looks like Watto in a duck suit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, now here's one way. Did you ever see the full movie, Rob, or were you too heartbroken by the rejection?
No, sir. I did, and again, thank you for bringing me up there. It was just the chance to go see Skywalker Sound up there in the People's Republic of Marin County. It was great. So thank you.
Well, now here's one thing you might not realize is that when you watch the movie, sometimes it is a man in a duck suit, and sometimes it's a child.
Are you kidding me?
And if you watch the movie, that's one fun way.
Whoa, excuse me, George. A child. You need to understand, and I think Sudi can help you with. There's a fine line between felony and funny.
Mhm.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, please go ahead, but
They both start with F and end with Y. Right. Because motive is always important when prosecuting a case.
Absolutely.
But if you
Intent,
yes.
intent can be, you know, tweaked, but motive can't mess with it.
Well, but we did nothing untoward. But if you watch the movie, it's very fun to watch. Sometimes realizing that sometimes Howard the Duck runs around like an adult who fits into a duck suit, and sometimes he very much runs around as if it's a child who's been placed in that suit, and doesn't know what's going on.
It varies wildly as to whether the performance seems to have any intentionality behind it or not.
Right. I think performance, Watto, is a strong word. I think that it was, to be sure, an interesting cinematic experience. It is, to be even sure, much more interesting now with the advent of available and home deliverable edibles. I mean,
Wow.
Ain't nothing like a kid in a duck suit running around after a couple of Blue Kush raspberry, you know, brownies, whatever.
Right. Well, that quote's going right on the next edition of the Blu-ray that comes out, because that's one of the best reviews that we've gotten for that.
Thank you.
Sudi, you're a multiple Emmy Award nominee. How does it feel?
It feels. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Rob. Please, Sudi, stop it.
Rob, we'll get to your Emmys in a second. We'll get there, Rob.
Rob, I promise we will get there.
New foot in.
So many feet. So many feet.
You know, George, thank you for bringing this up. The writers of SNL were actually not nominated this year.
Not this year, but that's because this year is terrible. Not
This
for
year
Saturday Night Live, but for reality.
It would actually be insulting to be nominated this year. It's like a scarlet letter to get a 2020 Emmy nomination.
Yeah, you don't want it. It's bad
Well,
luck.
I really wanted
bad
to
news.
wear like a full ball gown and get high on my couch and lose to
Hey.
John Oliver.
You can do that, baby. You can do that many ways without being nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah, and in many ways, I've already lost to John Oliver kind of all year. So
Hit them up like with a words with friends request. Put on your fancy dress, smoke a doob, and lose.
Last year, the writers staff at SNL is like truly mammoth. I think we have like 25 writers, and also like every guest writer for the year. Like, you know, if like Adam Sandler brings in like 4 dudes, you know, because they just hang out with him, they're all listed and nominated too. And then, so truly it's like a mammoth list that they read every year, and that shows up on the screen. And then last year, John Oliver's staff had a show, and so they sent their social media guy. So when they won, it was just like one 25-year-old who read from his phone kind of on behalf of the staff. I mean, it's a great show, and they deserve, and it's just an honor to be nominated. It is pretty humiliating when you're sitting in a row of about 50 losers.
Wait a second. John Oliver is now just doing the thing where he's like, we already have enough Emmys. We don't need to take the night off.
He's Candace Bergening it.
He's Candace Bergening.
I'm good.
I'm not skipping a taping for the Emmys. I don't even know where I'd put that in my house. Sudi, I don't know how the Emmys work. Do they give you any sort of like certificate or anything when you get nominated?
Yeah, they do. I think my manager has them kind of as sort of like piss pads for her dog.
That's how much the certificates are sort of a slap in the face.
It really is, and you know, I'm Persian. I have a Persian mom, and I think that the Emmy nomination certificate is like kind of like showing her a report card where I got a B. Like, why? What is this? This is nothing to me. This is you have an A, or this doesn't exist.
You expect me to waste a good magnet putting this on the fridge? I have takeout menus.
Right, 4 magnets if you don't want it to fold over. You know what I mean? If you want to make sure that the certificate. Yeah,
I see where your mother's coming from. Yes. Well, I think once again, I mean, look, let's root for John Oliver to win this year, because this year is going to be a curse. Whoever wins any category this year, they're blacklisted for the rest of their lives. Because if you ask me, 2020 is canceled.
Wow. Hot take. Wow.
I don't like 2020.
No. Nor
Now,
the
Rob,
TV show part of them. Yeah.
Rob, let's talk about your awards now.
Okay,
The moment
thanks.
you've been waiting for.
Are you ready, Rob?
Sudi,
I know you're modest. It's the last thing you want to talk about is your awards. Let's pull some teeth.
Okay.
7
No,
wins,
look at my teeth look like freaking
25
shit.
nominations.
See my teeth from the space station. It's disgusting.
Beautiful teeth.
Beautiful
Yeah.
teeth.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any trophies in your home, Rob?
I
Is
do.
that thing you're next to, is that a trophy?
Which, let's see, to this,
Yeah,
no,
that looks like it could be a trophy, like a golden spur or something.
you know,
That's a golden spur, Rob.
A golden spur.
yeah, it is. It's something I'm not really. What? I don't really know what that would be, Watto. It looks like something that I should have probably surgically removed because you can't see where it's attached to me. And it's difficult to move around. So thank you for
Right.
pointing that out. I will. I'll get that looked at and drilled.
Well, this is a real question. So I'm looking at your award wins here, right?
Yes, sir.
3 daytime Emmy nominations,
Mhm.
all for the role of Pinky and Pinky in the Brain. 1 win in 1999. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I go up to the Annie Awards, Little Annie Awards for animation. For those who don't
Annie?
know, the Little Annie Awards, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nominations, 3 wins, all for Pinky and the Brain, for playing Pinky. Now I feel like you have this very prestigious career. You played hundreds and hundreds of characters. Does it feel irritating that if you want to take home the hardware, you have to go Pinky? They only give you the trophy for Pinky.
No, I don't mind at all, my darling, because all I have to do is start doing this and look what happens to Sudi. Isn't that the most exciting thing?
Can you say Narf?
Nerve.
Is that? In fact, Sudi, do me a favor, my darling. Ask me, Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering? Go ahead, ask me.
Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Sudi. But if Jack's black and Betty's white, is Marvin gay?
Nerve.
I
You
feel
got
like
them in the back pocket.
Yes. So,
In answer to your question, Watto, no, I'm telling you what, in all seriousness, in the fact that I'm essentially paid to do used to get me in trouble in high school, the best part of my gig is exactly what happened to Sudi 30 seconds ago. Honest to God, because it's a tangential celebrity.
well, when people find out I'm Yakko, or Pinky,
Or Carl Weezer, or Raphael, or Donatello, it just does exactly what it does. Look at those beautiful faces. I'm a freaking lottery winner, Watto. A watery winner.
A lot of winner.
A watery winner.
I'm just saying, I feel like, even just that run you did there, you have so many iconic characters. It feels like.
I did a show called The Tick, in which I was a character called Arthur.
Yeah.
And I know that they're the most recent live action iteration. I don't know. I don't usually, go from swing from this side of the plate.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what, the kid who played Arthur on the most recent live action iteration of The Tick.
Not good. Not good. You're right.
Oh no! Forgive me. Pardon me. Just the opposite.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were I someone who was predisposed to that particular attraction,
Mhm.
I'd be all over that fellow like white on rice. I'm
Wait
telling
a second.
you. Wow.
Wait a second.
Have you seen it, Watto?
No, I don't watch that shit. No. You
Okay.
good?
Well, I'm telling you what. It is not up to me to presuppose your predilections, but if you even remotely are interested in handsome young people dressed as a moth, tune in to the most recent iteration of the show and slam your eyeballs against Arthur. You'll be glad you did.
Well, it has been a little while since I bought the kid. So, I mean, the way you're presenting him, it sounds like you've been in the market. So,
Good.
if you don't know, I'm canonically a slave owner, as said here on my Taco Bell cup.
Oh, I love that. Wait, you're canonically I see. Two
It's a-
slaves.
Two slaves.
Two
Two
slaves.
slaves.
just a fun thing to put on a giveaway for children while they eat fast food.
Right.
Yeah. You're right.
What's that?
Absolutely.
Again, funny felony.
Mm-hmm. Very
So
clever.
let me ask you this. This is okay. So here are some questions, right? Here are some questions. You have originated characters, but sometimes you've taken over them. I'm looking at your IMDb here. Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees played Arthur on the Tick for the first season. You played a bunch of other characters on that season. Then you come over, you take over Arthur. What's the process like of developing something new versus trying to figure out how to continue something that someone else started?
Well, that's a great question, Watto. I am not very good at that sort of thing. I'm much better at creating my own stuff. I'm not a particularly good impressionist. And when you work with Maurice LaMarche, Frank Welker, the Brad Garrett, who does a lot of off-camera voice stuff too. But these guys and girls are so fucking talented. Mm-hmm. And I'm better at just essentially recalibrating my 9-year-old brain into creating stuff on my own. But in that case, Mickey and I had both been up for the part of Arthur at the beginning. And it was, from what I recall and what I was told, it was kind of a coin toss. Mickey got it. He was excellent. And they were so kind because they said, even though you're not Arthur, we're going to throw you a bunch of other characters. They did. Then Mickey, I think, if I'm not mistaken, got a road gig either in live theater or something for the next couple of years. And he came back to me and said, do you want to be Arthur? And of course, I said yes. And then I did it for the final 2 seasons. But Mickey doesn't seem to feel it went too far south. The only person who's really criticized, and again, I say this as a heartbreakingly disturbing thing because I'm physically so attracted to him, was the guy who played Arthur in the most recent.
He said to you that he didn't like it? What are you saying?
Oh no.
No, Rob, open up.
Oh no.
I walked up to that young man, tried to put my tongue in his mouth, but I said to him, hey, we have something in common. And he said, oh, no, we don't, asshole. And I said, what? He said, you're talking about Arthur. And I said, yeah, I kind of feel like maybe you were inspired by Mickey and me. I said, I repeat, no, we don't, asshole. You are as full of shit as a Christmas goose, and I don't want you anywhere in my area code. Do you know how long I was on Tinder before I got a chance to meet?
The nerve of this guy. Where does he? And I bet he was just doing some crappy impression of your impression of Mickey Dolan. I guarantee you.
Narv. As I walked out the door.
He was doing other characters!
And badly. And he kept, you know what he said to me?
What?
He said, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. No.
He's making butt crack jokes on the way out. The nerve of this guy.
Actually, I'm looking him up. This is Dave Sims' friend. He's come up before on the show. I do think
it's guy from New York.
Yeah, this is his buddy. I do think I do want to be a little bit cautious here because he's not here to defend himself. So
who cares? Fuck that guy.
We try to be fair on the show. That's one thing that we strive for. Is fair.
George, hang on, wait, guys. Should I try to get him on the phone?
Yeah, let's try.
Let me see.
All right.
Who are we getting on the phone?
I'm gonna try to get Griffin on the phone.
Griffin Newman.
Wait a minute.
On the Tick.
Wait a minute.
Rob, is it okay?
Rob, is this okay? This is about healing and hope.
Wait. Namyo Rengekyo. Namyo Rengekyo. No.
I don't want to say this. I'm going to go take a shit. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Sudi, is this okay with you? Is it okay if we call Griffin?
I think it'll be healing.
I agree.
Sudi, would you virtually hold me? Thank you.
Feel my energy.
Hey, Griffin, it's Patrick Kottner. How are you? From the George Lucas Talk Show.
Oh, Dewey. Hey, how's it going?
Don't call me that. Yeah. Hey, I'm here with George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, Sudi Green, and Rob Paulsen.
Whoa, that's quite a lineup, actually.
Yeah, I know. It's a good lineup. Rob brought you up. He said you guys had met because you guys both played Arthur on the Tick.
Yeah. We met at a convention last year when that was still a thing that people could do.
Now listen, I'm not going to put you on speakerphone, but I want to hear. This is just for me.
Yeah.
What do you think of Rob's Arthur on the Tick?
I'm a huge fan. What do you mean? I mean, I studied everything that came before me compulsively, and he was one of the touchstones for me in developing my character. And then I went to meet him at this convention. I was like, "Hey, I'm so excited to meet you!" And I launched forward towards him with my tongue out, and he like pushed me away. And he was like, "Hey, don't let the door slip where the good Lord hit you."
Griffin, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. I want you to talk to Rob really quick. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, you're on speakerphone.
Rob?
Hi, Griffin.
Rob, what? I feel like
we're in a human cockfight. I feel like I'm on Jerry Springer. This is awful. How could you say those things to me? You know it's a lie. You know it's a lie. You know it's a lie.
I felt like you didn't want me.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
Whoa.
I felt like you were rejecting me. All I wanted was your approval, Rob.
Did I not try to put my tongue in your mouth?
I don't know. I couldn't see because I was busy trying to put my tongue in your mouth.
I think I know what happened
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, Griffin, wait a second. I do recall. Wait. Griffin, what's your last name?
Newman?
Oh my God, you're the guy who played the Tick you're Griffin Newman.
Yeah.
I do remember that. I do remember just before you gave me the cocktail. I do remember now being with you. I thought I was talking to Griffin Dunn.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, that guy's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, Griffin Newman. I am so sorry. I feel I'm a little verputzt.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a misunderstanding.
I love you so much. I am not afraid to hug a man, and you know how much I love you.
I love you too, Rob. You're a North Star for me.
Patrick, thank
All
you. You did.
All right.
I'm happy. Griffin, I'm happy. All right.
Thanks, Griffin.
I'm going to hang up on you now, okay?
Oh,
In
thanks,
fairness-
Griffin.
Hang on. Griffin wants to do one thing before he goes.
Can I do my impression of Rob's Arthur?
Sure.
Please.
Okay, ready? Tick!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Tick!
Oh, Rob saying.
I have never been more physically attracted to a man in my life. And,
Tick!
oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me explore aspects of my existential vibe just today. I love you, Griff.
Thank you. Hey, Griffin, before you go, can we hear some Orko?
No, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Wow, that was great.
In fairness, Rob, Griffin Dunn is not here to defend himself. And I think there is potentially an even deeper layer of misunderstanding that may have occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be fair. We strive for fairness here. Sudi. Yeah. No, Patrick, you have a question.
George. Sudi, are there any pranks at SNL?
Any impressions?
Any pranksters?
Oh, any pranksters?
Yeah.
At SNL.
Yeah.
People play jokes in the office.
Yeah, people are doing bits and people are doing jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Are there pranks? Yeah, there are pranks. There are people.
Okay.
I wouldn't call them pranks so much as like stunts that only like people with a lot of disposable income can do.
Sure.
Right.
like giant whoopee cushions.
Yeah, like buying like FAO Schwartz huge stuffed animals and placing them in offices, and you're like laugh for a minute, and then you're like, wait, how much did this cost? That's me. I'm Persian, so I'm always kind of thinking of like, cost. How, and, what was economically sound about it all.
George, what were you going to ask before I cut you off?
I was going to ask the question you were too hesitant to ask. Are there impressions that people do at Saturday Night Live?
Well, earlier Rob talked about how he is not a great impressionist, that he's a great creator. And I would say that somebody not liking your impressions but liking your material is kind of the story of every writer at SNL. Because most of us audition for the show and then have writer faces, and so we do.
What celebrities did you audition with, Sudi? Because you have to do celebrities and then also an original character or two, right?
Yeah. I was really scraping the bottom of the barrel. I did like Christian Amanpour.
I think that's near the top of the barrel.
That's a pretty hip reference.
Wonderful. It begins with an A. It's up top.
Yeah, up top. You put the Z's at the bottom. You alphabetize the barrel from top to bottom.
Yeah, so I did like a little good evening, I'm Christian Amanpour reporting live from Tehran. That kind of vibe.
Now, if I were to have an alien do that character, everyone would be furious with me. You know what I mean? I know that. I've done the work, and I've learned enough that if I had a character in the Phantom Menace who did that voice, I would be in, as they say, hot water, wouldn't I, Sudi?
Yeah, I'd say in this climate, not going to fly.
Right. Yeah. Well, then you're not saying summertime, by the way. When you say climate, you mean the cultural climate.
Yeah.
The culture. You see, I've done the work. I've done the work because I've had that before. Where people say you can't do that in this climate, and then I'll wait like 3 months and I'll do it again. And then I'm like, I can't do anything right.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So
because I guess this is more of a spring character, and then he's got to eat crow by the time the spring comes around. Wait, what other impressions?
So that's one impression. Did you have to do another one?
Oh my God!
This is the deep dive.
I did like a fake, I did like a share button to like one.
I could hear that.
You saved the impression. You saved the impression like you just did a button in a larger piece.
Technically, I was doing one character, and then that character did a share impression.
Wow.
In the character.
Right.
Cool.
Let's hear it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
This is the part that I did.
That was great.
Right.
Thank you, Rob. That means a lot.
Really?
A self-described non-impressionist.
Very cool.
Wow.
And then I got hired as a writer, and so you know what? Actually, it all worked out for the best for me and America.
And what was the original character that you did in your audition? Do you remember?
Well, the character that did the share impression, it's a lot to explain. She was like, she was doing like a one-woman show. She was like a Sarah Lawrence kind of like just read about feminism girl. What else did I do? Oh my God, everybody, now that I go to the auditions, I realize I did what everybody does, which everybody does like the ethnicity that they're allowed to do, which is usually their own, and then everybody
usually, not always.
Usually is an interesting word.
Usually, and then everybody does like a mom, like every like Groundlings girl has like that mom wig, and then they come out like it's a garage sale and their hands are kind of like this, and then they do like Jan, oh hold on, Jan, and they do something like that, which I definitely did. My mom was from Philly though, so
right,
very good,
kind of unique and different.
Yeah.
So you
auditioned and then were hired as a writer.
I auditioned 1 year, didn't, and then the next year, the year after, was hired as a writer.
Wow.
So you only did the one audition and you were rejected.
I actually didn't even screen test. I actually only showcased.
Showcased.
Wow.
What venue? What venue did you showcase at?
At UCB.
Oh wow!
Oh no.
Our old stomping ground.
At Chelsea.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did you feel? How did you feel when you showcased and nothing happened? Did you think, well, that's it, or were you hopeless?
How was that year, Sudi? Describe the year to us.
It was the year that I showcased with Pete Davidson. And I was very young and I was 23 and I had like kind of only recently started doing comedy like outside of college. And so when I got a showcase off of my tape, because you send in an audition tape and then if they like it, then they give you a showcase. I was like so proud of myself. And I really didn't think I would get it. And so when I didn't get it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Also, I was with like all of these veteran performers who I really respect at UCB, and they all were like asking me if I was from LA because nobody knew who the fuck I was. And I was like, no, I'm from here. And I actually took like a workshop with you at DCM, which they didn't want to hear, you know.
No.
That anyway.
Isn't that the great feeling, though, when people act like, oh, you must be very well established in some other scene that I haven't heard about, and you get to say, no, we've met many times, and you never considered me important, and now I am at the exact same level as you. Eat my farts.
I mean, I was at an SNL audition, and I was intimidated by, like, the people that I was auditioning with.
Of course.
Like, maybe way more than the actual experience. So,
of course. Yes.
I mean, I don't talk about this much, but there was a period. I had a film comedy out in the early '90s called Radioland Murders, which is very good comedy pedigree, great cast. Didn't do a lot of
if you love comedy. You would love it, Sudi.
It didn't do great box office, but was highly influential, and it started to get me known as more of a comedy guy again. And I was busy preparing to do the new Star Wars prequels, but there was a brief period where I was under consideration to do Update. And I met with Lorne, and I remember him telling me, and I sometimes obsess about this. I remember him saying, "I don't know what you think you're doing over in Marin County, but it doesn't matter."
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't get Update. I remember I stewed about it for years, and I've talked about it to people. You know, like so I always ask, "What's Lorne like?" And is there a candy test? You know, like when you're in his office, do you take the candy or not?
He also, I remember, George, he said to you, sorry, Sudi, but he did say to you, you know, George, when people go to Jabba's palace, the first thing they want to see is the Rancor because it scares them. And then they want to go see Salacious Crumb because he makes them laugh. Right? That was the thing he said.
That was the thing he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Sudi. What were you going to say?
Sorry, Sudi, what were you going to say?
I'm so glad you cut me off because I think, wow, that really.
The Lorne meeting. The Lorne meeting.
The Lorne
meeting I never met. I didn't meet Lorne until like months after I'd been hired there. But I was going to say, George, you're kind of like a Lorne in your own right.
Yeah.
So
right. Yeah.
You're kind of you were
icon.
You know. He was a forlorn, but you are possibly a Lorne.
Yes, I think that's true. I can see that, and that may have been why it never would have worked, because I think I would have wanted Final Cut, and also to do special editions of every episode of SNL.
Yeah, totally.
Just to erase them.
I've always said I think that's the only reason George didn't get it, because I was there for his test, and he blew the doors off that fucking thing. I mean, he was just like. He was hitting, he was scoring left and right, and you could see Lauren was getting a little itchy. George was on fire.
Oh my
George
God.
was on fire. And Lauren was getting itchy because he was like, is this guy going to big dog me? You know, like for the first time.
Sometimes it works though. Sometimes that works.
But Lauren was like, you could see him doing the math, and he's like, I've always avoided hiring cast members who are older, more successful, and wealthy than I am.
Yeah.
I might have a little bit of a power imbalance if I hire George.
Hey, George, Bring to Noise is asking in the chat, what would your sign off be for Update? Let's make you full screen and you can do it.
My sign off? Probably I would either go with Yub Nub. one, or I'm George Lucas and I had a good feeling about this update.
That's good, George.
Because you want to be positive because it's comedy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
I would
And he's
say-
worth $6 billion. That's remarkable.
I know.
I would say a lot of people a few seconds ago were doing impressions of Lorne and then saying that Lorne is like George or George is like Lorne.
right.
Some people do impressions of George.
That's true.
Is
That's
that
true,
right?
Rob. That's true,
Now-
Rob.
Now, Rob, we should talk about this.
Okay.
Rob, we should talk about this.
Who would dare do an impression of George, my best friend?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you let's see, close your eyes and let's try this. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm listening, Rob.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hi, my name is George Lucas, and I have just boarded the Millennium Falcon, and I'm on my way to Gryffindor, which reminds me of my friend Griffin Dunn or even Griffin Newman. But I am taking an intergalactic croissant, two of which are attached to Princess Leia's head, and I am going to eat my croissant as best I can, and then convince you I am who I am so I can jump on you.
Okay, George, that's a very nice story. That's a very nice story, George, but Rob was about to tell us something.
Watto.
I was
Watto.
going to say, and then before I leave for Valerian or wherever, I would say live long and perspire. Bye.
Wait a second.
Watto. That was Rob the whole time. It wasn't me.
I was hoodwinked!
Wait, I thought that was a pretty good shot. In fact, Sudi was smiling. It could have been, a stomach ailment, but she looked at had like she had a very authentic smile.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it was a pretty
You'll
good.
confirm the authenticity of the smile.
Yeah, I try to keep joy very close to the surface. So
Sudi, can you show us a real? Sudi, show us a real smile.
I'll do one too.
Okay.
Oh,
Now, Sudi, show us a fake smile. Oh, okay. Got it.
now show us the. I live behind a gate, and this is my special Fresca morning smile. There you go.
Smile.
Honey, get Sudi her special Fresca.
Special fresco.
Now, Rob, that wasn't what I was setting up. George, do you
Rob,
want to tell Rob what we were setting up?
Rob, you're being a little stinker.
I am.
Because
I'm
here's the
predisposed to that. Listen, as Raphael and Yakko,
Stinkers.
Yeah.
stinkers.
Stinkers. Little and small.
little.
Yes, exactly. And we all live in the water tower, and all of you get free tickets to the water tower for the rest of your lives, unless, of course, you're arrested getting on the lot, in which case you're on your own.
Yes.
But here's the thing, and I think I didn't intend for this to be a gotcha interview. But
Okay.
as the pieces fall into
At my
place-
age, anything that suggests getting something is. So
Rob!
get me. You know what, George? I want you to take this both literally and a tweak. You get me, or you get me,
Yeah.
or
That's
you
right.
get
I do
me.
get you.
Yeah.
I do get you, and that's why. In that sense, this is a gotcha interview because I get you.
Thank you, George.
It doesn't need to be a bad thing. You auditioned for Howard the Duck at a particularly difficult period in my career.
I did.
You do not get the job,
I did not.
and then you proceed to get your revenge in the form of spoofing me
How?
more than
Now, wait a minute. Okay,
more than once, Rob. More than once.
I understand, and I understand that you said this is not a gotcha moment, but I have to say you're being a little disingenuous, a little intellectually dishonest, because you're teeing it up for it to become a gotcha moment, George. But go ahead, you've unleashed the hellhounds now. Go ahead.
All right.
And by the way, I'm not subject to hyperbole.
Let's roll the clip. And we should say we had to distort the clip slightly for copyright reasons because we don't have the right to play this clip, and the droids on YouTube will pull it if they sense that we've stolen.
All right, well, go
Here we
ahead.
go.
I hear you spoofing me.
Well, imitation is absolutely the sincerest form of flattery, George. And
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I am not. I'm serious as a pimple on prom night. This is the absolute God's honest truth. I was so touched by your ethos, by the way you live your life, by the kindness with which you handle people who did not go to see Howard and the Duck.
Mm-hmm.
And I must tell you that that is precisely what I was trying to imbue into that Lego character. Understanding now, seeing you this close, sir, and hearing you, having not, of course, for unforeseen reasons, been able to meet with you at Skywalker Sound. But in this circumstance, I know I wasn't even close. So I apologize humbly. I absolutely, I truly don't know how to adequately apologize for it, for not getting it right.
Rob, can you confirm or do you deny that you have an uncredited role in Spaceballs?
I can confirm that I do. In fact, yes, with my.
That's 1987, Rob. That's the ink on your non-hiring is barely dry. And there you are spoofing me right out of the gate. You couldn't wait to get into a Spaceball, could you?
Well, when I was a kid, a space ball was a dance with astronauts. But now I don't know what it is that you are inferring, George.
You do Spaceball, you do Lego Star Wars, where you imitate me. You also do Thumb Wars.
You did a Thumb Wars.
You do Thumb Wars.
I do. But listen, I didn't do your. I played Ooby Dooba Nooby.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
See, there was an attempt.
So funny that I forgive you.
There was an attempt at a funny comedy joke there, which clearly didn't work.
No,
I don't know. You pretty much bowled George over just by saying the name.
Say it again, Rob.
Ooby Dooba Nooby. Actually,
Sudi, will you say it?
It was supposed to be, a bad impression of Alec. So it's Ooby Dooba Nooby.
Sudi, can I hear you say that?
Ooby Dooba Nooby?
Wow. It's still funny.
So funny, Patrick. Will you say?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. It just sounds so funny to me.
It does.
It's a Star Wars thing.
It is a Star Wars thing.
It's a parody of
Obi-Wan Kenobi, but instead he's called Ooby Dooba Nooby.
That's funny.
See?
Right in the
Patrick, will you say Ooby Dooba Nooby?
Yeah. Ooby Dooba Nooby.
It's really good.
That's funny. That's
Watto.
funny.
You see that?
Watto, can you say
Go ahead, Watto.
And Watto, just one note. Just put a little stank on it.
Oh, sure thing. You know that's a dangerous note to give Watto in the booth.
I know.
You're not going to get too little. I'll tell you that much. You're going to get some options. Okay, ready?
It's warming up.
Come on, Watto.
He's a pro. Let him work. Let him
Christmas, Watto.
Okay, hold on one second.
Watto.
I need a
What
lozenge.
are you doing now?
He asked me to put some stank on it. I need a lozenge. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Uva duva novi.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow.
George, go ahead. You say it, George.
Ooby Dooba Nooby.
Now you're talking.
Wait, guys, hang on,
Look
George.
at Sudi's face. Look, George, look at Sudi's face. She's just.
Everybody went mute.
What?
I couldn't hear anybody for a second.
Ooby Dooba Nooby. Ooby Dooba Nooby.
Novi novi.
Ooby Dooba Nooby.
Ooby Dooba Nooby.
I can hear everybody. I heard
All right.
Watto's read of Ooby Dooba Nooby, which
Oh,
honestly,
thank God. Thank God.
honestly, you said you were going to put some stank on it, but then you did the great thing, which is you went with intensity, not with like pure energy,
Yes.
which was unexpected, but also that's why you're the pro that you are.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
then your performance was so incredible that I think it blew out everybody else's sound.
Yes.
And then I was
Unquestionably.
baffled and amazed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think just a minor not correction, but clarification, because I think the question to Watto from George was put some stank on it. And I believe that Sudi inadvertently, or it's a colloquial thing, said put some stink on it. So there was what I think we experienced was a vowel movement, and I think that because the intent while still there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way in which one receives it, stank versus stink.
Yeah.
I'll say, Rob, I'll say as an actor, I was trying to do both. Like, because, I'm sure the amount of times you've been in the booth, you got to analyze what's the note and what's the note behind the note. So it's like George is saying to me, put some stank on it. That's what he thinks he wants.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't realize he's trying to convey to me is he also wants a little stink on it.
Right.
Right. So what he's essentially saying is, I stank, therefore I ham.
Yes, that is exactly what he's. You have so many of these ready to go. Now look at this.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Right.
Look at us.
So this is
Wow.
So
George.
this is from Moises Tavera on Twitter.
God bless him.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Pat the rat with his little rat teeth.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just in the water tower.
You're living in the water tower, Sudi.
With Howard the
But,
Duck.
I always wanted
No,
to be
Sudi's
done,
taking the picture because she does not want to be associated with this, because she knows the internet is forever.
Yes.
Right. And of course, I believe during that era, that was when, Rob, you were working for my buddy Steve.
I was. He is a lovely fellow. The first time I worked with Steve, I worked with him on a movie that at the time was called A Boy's Life. And I just actually got Griffin Newman, when I get a chance to talk to him, he'll get a kick out of this. I got a $27.32 residual check from that movie called A Boy's Life back in 1982. It was incredible.
Now, Rob, you're being coy. What is A Boy's Life called now?
It's called E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Yes.
Right. And it's a movie about divorce.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's about, well, like, as in, may divorce be with you, because that happens to pretty much everybody.
And it was with
Wow.
me. It was with me, certainly.
It was. Well, certainly at that time,
Right.
I mean, it's kind of academic once we get past double digits, but you see.
Right.
Now, tell people what you did in that movie, because it's cool.
Well, in that particular movie, actually, the truth is that Mr. Spielberg, I was in a loop group. I got to be in some incredible ones. But in this particular case, we all were brought into Universal to add the voices of the doctors and other, characters, because as a lot of folks know, those scenes where a lot of stuff is going on in the background are shot called MOS, Met Out Sound. So all that stuff, as George would explain to you, has to be put in post-production. I've done that in a lot of features. So the problem, Mr. Spielberg said, was they'd hired real doctors to revive the character, do other things, and various things throughout the movie.
This is when they're in the tent at the end of the movie, and E.T. is
And they were not terribly exciting, according to Mr. Spielberg. So I got to do a bunch of stuff, and the character doing the production was blacked out. We couldn't see the character.
I remember Steve talking to me about that. He says, I hired all these real doctors. I said, Steve, it breaks my heart. I'm going to do everything I can to make it so that in the future we can make movies without any real people at all.
Yeah. Well, and we're close.
We're so close. That's the dream.
Right? It is. Why not?
I make movies, but I would love it eventually if a movie could make itself.
Right? Sick?
That's the dream.
Because I do that to myself.
Now, I should say, Rob, you have a book out, and it's great.
Yes.
Oh my
It's really
God.
good.
It's a great book.
And people should get it online and read it. It's got a wild amount of stories in it, but I read it a few weeks ago, and it's
Are
fantastic.
you serious? Did you really, Pat?
I really did. I really did.
Buddy, that's very kind.
I felt bad. You shamed me last time when we were plugging Nicole's book that I only own the RoboCop book. So I got Nicole's book.
Yes. Good. Good. I'm glad.
So I'm doing a retroactive plug for the last time someone was promoting a book on there.
Yeah.
Great book.
But the good news, now, Rob, some guests might be offended by this. Why? How dare you plug someone else's book? but we will plug your book the next time
Absolutely.
someone else has a book.
Rob, I guarantee you, I'll order one tonight. About 6 weeks from now, I will plug your book.
We plug it forward. We plug it forward. Next time Albert comes on, we'll say, "Hey, have you read this book by Rob?"
Oh God!
I also want to say, look at that top quote.
Oh,
Mark.
we got two of the legends of Star Wars there, Mark Hamill and Detours creator Seth Green.
Yeah.
Rob, you ever hear about Detours?
Yeah, I have.
I know about Detours. Sudi, do you know about Detours?
I don't know about Detours.
Well, let's bring this up, Watto, because Sudi also has something sort of related to Detours. Sudi, a few weeks ago, you tweeted, "Hey, Disney Plus released the Brandy Whitney Cinderella. Literally, what the hell are you waiting for?"
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Sudi, this is right in your strike zone.
It's got 401 retweets. Let's bring that number up.
Let's bring it up.
See, you got that? And retweet it.
I just retweeted it. So if you go to my Twitter, you will see it and you can retweet it.
It is available on YouTube, but it's like
it's not the same thing. It's truly not the same thing.
So it's the best Cinderella, and I think that people should view it as the only Cinderella. I really like. My niece has never seen Cinderella, and I showed it to her, and I was like, "This is Cinderella. It's not."
Because who we got? We got
Cinderella.
Brandy. We got Whitney.
Jason Alexander, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi!
Wow.
Bernadette Peters.
She was on Animaniacs.
Yeah.
I love Bernadette.
Yeah. Victor Garber is in it.
Yes.
Garber from the Days and Nights of Molly Dodd and Alias that J.J. Abrams made.
Watto, tell Sudi about Detours.
Sudi, okay, so you're in the perfect strike zone to get all riled up by what I'm about to tell you, okay? So you have already voiced your frustration at the fact that Disney has content just sitting on a shelf that they refuse to put on their platform. Things, just one button, with click of one button, they could put it out there, release it, right? But you're describing a movie that was released, that aired on TV, was released on home video in the first place. There were earlier chances to see it. Now, Sudi, you write for SNL. You write an episode. It goes up live on Saturday night, and then people watch it later online. You write for Shrill. It goes up on Hulu. People watch it at home on their own time. The shows get released, right?
I've never been mansplained TV by Andy before.
But here's because I'm setting up your expectations. I'm explaining the things that we all know. This is a given. That's how TV works, right? Wrong. Now I'm going to mansplain. Because Sudi, I'm about to upend the baseline understanding of television that we just established.
Right.
George Lucas self-financed and self-produced 39 episodes of an animated series called Star Wars Detours, where the premise was, what if Star Wars was very funny? What if you took Star Wars and put a lot of jokes into it? And he said, this is such a good idea. I'm just writing the check, staff the room, hire the animators, green light, produce the episodes. I'll have 3 seasons ready to go. Star Wars has historically, there's always been a buyer's market for Star Wars, right?
You make a Star Wars thing. What do? You release it.
You release it.
Right.
Every time. Every time. I make a Star Wars. Release it. Star Wars. Release it. That's what happened.
Right.
So then the Walt Disney Company, the House of Mouse, buys Lucasfilm. And George goes, oh, great. Disney, what are they known for? Releasing animation.
They've been doing it since the 1920s.
Sudi, I am not pulling your chain when I tell you that they took these 39 completed episodes of an animated series and put it on a goddamn shelf. It's never been seen. It's been for a decade sitting on some fucking hard drive. No one's ever seen it. 39 episodes of a Star Wars cartoon show that has not been released to a streaming service during a pandemic. What the fuck is happening?
And I think that a generation of young kids need to see that at the same level that they need to see a Black multiracial Cinderella.
It's the same.
That was, it's the same level of
Same page. We're on the same page.
times.
Right, because this is also, it's asking very big questions like, what if Princess Leia was a little girl and the droids helped her put on makeup? This is the kind of stuff that only happens in Star Wars detours.
That is funny. I
What
never
if-
thought about Princess
What
Leia
if
being-
what if Emperor Palpatine was walking down the hallway carrying a tray of cupcakes, and these cupcakes, Sudi, were cream filled, and Jar Jar Binks accidentally knocked the entire tray back into Emperor Palpatine's clothing, covering him with the
Is he
cream.
mad?
He's mad, he's frustrated, and then Jar Jar Binks unleashes his enormous tongue to lick the cream off of Emperor Palpatine. Can you imagine?
Like that, and Jar Jar.
Oh, sorry, no, you did not.
You know what I call that? I call that
He
a
doesn't
detour.
know what's going
That's
on.
a detour.
It's a detour.
That's a detour.
That's a classic
Detour.
detour. You go,
No, I get it. Yeah.
yes.
That's
So wait. Now, Rob, you said you knew about detours. Did you record anything for detours?
I did not.
Okay.
I had heard about this this thing.
People
That,
are talking about it.
Yes, to which Mr. Lucas is referring, but no, sir,
Okay.
I cannot claim responsibility for
I
anything.
have a question. Did you take any of your update bits and put them into detours?
Right into it. Yeah.
George, show us some of your update bits, George. We want to hear them.
All right. Well, O.J. Simpson is back in the news.
Oh, no.
I have a bad feeling about this.
He's running back to us. Running back.
This is the thing, Sudi. It's another reason why they might have shelved detours. George repurposed a lot of his update jokes, so characters inexplicably reference a lot of topical events from 1995.
Right?
Right.
I mean that joke gives you the flavor of it. I'm not gonna do my whole packet on here because I'll get sued by Disney. They own that
Oh,
joke.
that's the one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we'd get a little
George,
bit
George, can I ask for one thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you tell that joke again, but put a little stank on it?
All right.
And stink.
more.
And oh,
And stink.
Sudi wants the stink.
Well,
And I want the stink.
if I may
Stang.
paraphrase,
Okay, so
If I
there are
may-
three notes.
yes.
I want stank on it. Sudi wants stink, and Rob
George,
wants stank.
What are you drinking, George?
a diet sugar-free root beer soda because I'm famously diabetic.
Okay.
Well, I'll do one better because you're asking for a little stink and you're asking for a little stank. But to paraphrase a song from one of Ted Geisel's TV specials, directed by Chuck Jones, I'll give you stink, stank,
Stank, stunk. Great minds, George.
Yeah.
Mhm.
from a holiday classic because, as announced by Rob, the holiday season has officially begun tonight.
Correct. Here's a bit of very quick trivia. Do you know what iconic characters were both voiced by the gentleman who was the narrator of The Grinch?
It's Thurles Ravencroft. Is that who it was?
Yes. Well done.
Mhm.
Well done. And
Okay.
Thurl Ravenscroft, and what two characters, or what was the other character for which he was very famous, in addition to the narrator of The Grinch and the singer of that song?
He's the Haunted Mansion voice.
Yeah.
Is he not?
No.
No.
No?
I think he's one of the heads in the Haunted Mansion, Watto.
Oh, he's.
Well,
I know
I'm
he's in
sorry,
that.
yes, forgive me. He might be, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
thinking of Paul Freeze.
That's not.
I'm
yes.
thinking of the
No,
other
I
iconic
confused him with Paul.
character
Yes.
that's
yes.
multi-generational, in addition to
Oh,
singing,
I know.
"You're a sly one, Mr. Grinch." What's the other one?
Oh, I know. It's
Patrick.
I'm gonna say it. No, George, Rob, call him.
What?
It's Tony the Tiger, George.
Tony
Rob,
the Tiger.
Great.
Yeah.
That's right. Well
All
done.
right.
Now,
George.
what was your story? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, George. Stink and stank and stunk.
Stinking, stankin' stunk.
O.J. Simpson is in the news again.
You know, you are.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I think,
That was Watto-esque.
can we get Mr. Lucas a Caesar salad, please?
Let's please. Yes.
I have to say, George, that was perfect.
Thank you, Sudi. That means a lot. That means a lot that you said that.
And
Yes.
I give a lot of notes. You know what I mean?
Do you enjoy giving feedback? Sometimes I find it frustrating.
Well, you know, do I enjoy telling people what to do? Absolutely 100%.
That's great. Yes, that's great.
Yeah. But then there's always like the art of like doing the note that you want to say and then wrapping it in the note that you can tell a very famous celebrity.
Note behind the note. Note behind the note.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a good question. What is
Like,
you can blind item this if you want, but what is a note that you had to give to a very famous celebrity?
well, like,
One that would not make it clear who it was directed towards. Just the note. We just want to hear the note.
something that I say, and this will not out me to anybody because it's something that I often say because this is, you know, they're great actors, but they're not comedians. Is I don't know if you need to play comedy. I think you can play the reality.
Wow.
That is always. Then there was like, okay.
Yeah, that's smart. That's the thing. I feel like people don't realize this, Sudi. A lot of people don't know this, but if you're a writer on SNL, you somewhat direct your own sketches.
And
you got a little bit of the George Lucas in you.
I mean, you definitely are like directing and producing and giving notes on your own sketch, and it's very interesting because a lot of very big deal actors come through the show and they shake hands with the director, Don King, who's incredible, and then some like grubby little 14-year-old looking TV writer comes up to them and is like, I think you just need to be louder. And they're like, wait. I've met this like very distinguished gray-haired director who has many Emmys, and I've shaken his hand. And now some little prepubescent tool is and I count myself amongst them. I really do. I really serve 14-year-old boy at work a lot.
Sudi, can we try something? Can you give me a note? Like, can you give me a funny line of dialogue that you'd like me to play the reality of? I'll play the comedy of it, and then you give me that note, and I'll try to, and we'll see how this works. Can you do that? Just tell me anything funny that you want me to play real. I'll try to play it funny, and then we'll have it out.
How about you say, that's not a doctor, that's my kid.
All right, I got it. Here we go. And who am I?
You're a dad. You're an unsuspecting dad.
I'm an unsuspecting dad.
But you have a dildo. You have a dildo up your ass. But we can't see it because of standards. Right. It's just kind of a gown that's
it's just behind here. Okay, so I'm saying that's not a doctor. That's my kid.
All
right. That's not a doctor. That's my kid.
George. Hi, I'm Sudi. We met earlier in the week.
Hi, Sudi. Nice to meet you. I'm George Lucas.
Hi, George. I'm such a big fan. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm so glad
Thank
I
you.
went.
I'm excited to host.
You were so good at the table. Okay.
It's fun. This is a fun. This is a really talented cast.
Aren't they great? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So just because I know we have to go again, so I'm just going to tell you really quickly. I wonder if in this time, you know, instead of playing the comedy, like you're such a great actor and director, maybe you just play the reality and we like see how that feels. Like play the reality of it.
Won't it be funnier if I play the comedy though?
You know, I think we should just try it and see how it feels.
All right. So I'll just try it.
Yeah, just for this run.
The show's live though, right?
Yeah, but you know, if it goes,
try it now. Try it now.
Yeah,
okay.
During rehearsal where we are, if it feels better, which I think it might, then maybe that's how we'll play it live.
Great, let me try it.
Okay, cool.
That's not a doctor. That's my kid.
Wasn't that funny? That was good. That's how you should do it. That was hilarious. That was
right. And that was funnier?
I mean, the crowd was laughing, and that's always a good sign.
I found it very touching. I got verklempt on that take.
So
he really played the reality of the situation.
The premise is that, and the premise of that is that I've just been operated on, and then I realized that the doctor was actually my child.
Yes.
Sudi, that's a good sketch. Save that.
Good sketch,
Yeah.
Sudi. Save that. Back pocket that one.
If that was
I
cut for
actually-
time, you
yeah,
need to
the
push
next-
that. Have them do that from one of the SNL at homes when it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can
So
just
many
put that in
kids.
someone's
So
apartment.
many kids.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their kids with them. You can actually use them in the sketch.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
Now, Sudi, really quick, you also brought up Don Roy King, and someone in the chat is saying Don Roy King, star of A Star Is Born.
Yes.
Are you mad that Don's in A Star Is Born and you weren't?
I'm really
I didn't want to bring it up, but
I'm really mad. I think I'm in A Star Is Born spiritually because I think I was that movie's #1 fan. I actually auditioned for the one other female speaking role in that movie.
The assistant.
Which is Woman at Concert. Who's
Yeah.
like, this
Right.
way. We don't have a lot of time, this way. And I'm kind of
Right.
holding the passes.
Yeah.
But in the audition, I made my own passes, and I was doing like a lot of business with the passes, and I think I kind of blew it.
it's a lot.
Now this is the recent Star Is Born, yes?
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
Gaga.
Yeah, this is the one where I believe from the premise, what I gave is that she's so hideous that no one would ever want her to be in a That I saw the trailer and it looked like it was that she was like, no one will ever look at me.
Well, there's a conflict. There's a shameful conflict, which is she has a nose.
Oh right. Oh,
Yeah.
She has a nose.
She has a nose, but Bradley Cooper, being the auteur that he is, he can see
From J.J.
past
Abrams'
the
Alien.
nose,
I know.
and see that she's actually talented.
I found it very touching.
Much
George is kind of
some
my
directors
Bradley
and other
Cooper.
stars.
Oh,
I was going to say, when I came out of the computer, I went, oh no, this thing, it's hideous. Who will ever accept me? And George walked up to me and he went,
yeah.
Look at that nose.
Look at that.
Gorgeous nose. Listen, I have a nose like a sundial, so I totally understand what you're talking about.
Now,
Rob,
Rob,
you in addition to spoofing me and working for my buddy Steve, you've also done some legit Star Wars voices. Let's not beat around the bush. You've done legitimate Star Wars voices and things.
Did I?
Yeah.
Like,
I got a couple pulled up here. We
Yeah,
got
okay.
Star Wars Jedi Starfighter,
Oh,
Wingmate
and the video game, yeah.
1/Droid,
Those are legitimate. Those are legit, Rob.
Thank you.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rebel Wingman 7/Slave. We
No,
might
it's not
cross over
Wingman.
in that
No,
game.
It's not Wingman. That was a misprint. His name is Shlomo Wingman.
Oh, Shlomo Wingman.
I
Yeah.
think it's Shlomo
Famous
Wingman.
Star Wars
Not
name.
Wingman. And it's important.
And
It's a
then
very important distinction. So thank you for letting me clear that up.
But
And
also,
then Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, Captain Tarples, Grenade Trooper, Gungan Villager. You were playing some Gungans.
Really?
that's
Was I any good?
well, they might have to revoice you.
Oh, well, listen, that would not be the first time.
Right.
Knowing how much I screwed up your voice, sir.
Well, Rob, one thing that I don't know how many people talked about this, but there was a project that Steve and I produced together that had a life beyond. We only did one film together, but it had a life beyond, which was The Land Before Time, the Don Bluth film. And then you did a lot. You did more Land Before Times, I think, than I have done Star Warses.
Well, almost. I've done, I think, 12 Land Before Time.
Oh, that's
But you know what? The best part about the gig is in that case, I played a Triceratops called Spike.
Oh.
And Spike's range of physical voice was so that, as a matter of fact, go ahead. George, ask me questions to excite Spike.
do you think we're going to have to move to a new village? We're going to have to move again? I hope we don't get hit by an asteroid. And yet, you bring so much to it that really is a sign of a good.
Well, that is, and I think I don't. Well, I'm presuming again, but I believe that Sudi, she knows what the hell she's doing. She would agree that it's about commitment, and
Right.
And I
Right.
did. I commit very fully to my. And the wonderful thing is that often I can, be in private and people will hear and they will think, what on earth is going in there? But
Right.
then they understand that it's me committing to my.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it's impossible to overstate how important that is in
No.
the context of Mesozoic creatures.
And would
You
they?
gave that franchise a Paulsen's dozen. You gave them a full Paulsen's dozen.
Well, you know what I did? I put some stank on it.
Yes.
That's called a callback.
Yes.
Now, Rob, I know you have to go in a second, but I want to ask because Animaniacs is coming back.
It is. No, yes, you know, Anna,
This is for Sudi. Hey, Dad, I'm picking the brain, and Animaniacs are coming back on November 20th.
Yeah, on Hulu.
On Hulu. I just love saying that. Who knew? It's on Hulu.
And you've been working on it for a while because I remember we did something at my job last year, and you were talking about it. So it's been going on.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, in fact, I had probably 3 years ago.
Right.
Oh, no, almost 4 years ago. We were told that it might happen. And then the King of Hollywood, God bless him, your pal, Mr. Lucas, said, hey, what do you think about doing Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain again? And I said, of course, as long as I am, on work release, I am your mouse.
Wow. Now, just in case, you said Animaniacs is coming out on Hulu on November 20th?
Yes, sir.
I have to ask this just as a contingency. Will it be available in Canada?
I don't know. That's seriously, George, I'm glad you asked. And I have an awful lot of friends and relatives in Canada.
Right.
And the last time,
because I assume there's at least a partial chance that a lot of people are going to be heading that way if things go badly.
I knew where you were going in that with respect to that. That presumes that they will let us in because we are effectively, with respect to COVID, a shithole country. And your reference to our good friends in the North, I don't know that they'll let us in, even if we wanted to go there after the election. God forbid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that maybe roughly 60 to 70% of the country, if it comes down to that, might just rush the border.
Well, that's true because, as you know, when you go to the Montana-Saskatchewan border, yeah, you could see your dog run away for 2 weeks. I mean, it's so flat.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a good idea. But thank you for suggesting that.
Hopefully it won't be necessary, but I just want to be sure that we can still watch Animaniacs up there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I will come up there if we go.
Mm-hmm.
We will get together. Sudi will put it together. She'll write it, and I'll sing. Oh, here I got something for you. You guys remember United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, all that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there is a new stanza, Sudi, which you will enjoy as being a writer. And this now enumerates all the countries which have sprung up since that genius song by Randy Rogel was released 26 years ago. So here's the new lyric. It goes Montenegro and Bosnia, Herzegovina, the Soviet Union is gone. South Africa, Georgia, Moldova, Latvia, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, hey, Kazakhstan, hey, then there's Tajikistan too, hey, Turkmenistan, hey, Kurdistan, Armenia, Tonga, Palu, Lithuania, Serbia, Kosovo, US Samoa, the Balkans, Brunei, Macau and Crimea, then Eritrea, Ukraine and Estonia, here's Macedonia, New Caledonia, Eastern Slavonia, Ivory Coast and Cape Verde, Andorra, the Solomon Islands, Dubai. Goodbye.
I didn't want to ask you to do it, but I'm glad that you did it.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. And thank you very much, Watto and George, for allowing me and for lowering your entertainment standards.
No,
Rob, no.
No.
Thank you.
Rob,
Thank you, Rob.
So nice to have you. Thank you for coming to spend some time with us this holiday season.
Thank you very much. And in that spirit, don't forget, laughter is the best medicine. The cool thing is you can't OD and the refills are free. And don't let your meatloaf, George. That's what I say. Sudi, thank you very much for being so kind and gracious to let an old Ninja Turtle yammer on. You are just delightful. And all the best to you, my friend.
Thank you, Narf.
Okay.
Thank you for the Narf.
I'll see you in November, Missy. Point.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks a lot. Take care, kids.
Do you know he did 2 different Ninja Turtles?
Isn't that crazy?
That's like, it's like the club of people who have set foot on the moon. It's even smaller. How many people have gotten to play a Ninja Turtle, let alone voicing 2 different turtles at different times?
Let's go around. George, how many Ninja Turtles have you played?
Professionally, 0.
Watto?
Goose egg.
Sudi?
Yep. Same.
Okay.
Patrick,
I-
answer the question. Zero.
Zero. No one asked. I wanted to wait for
Right.
someone.
So the percentage, our total percentage has dropped precipitously.
Yeah.
No.
Rob left the show.
I mean, let's be fair. If they were going to hire Patrick onto a Ninja Turtle show, he'd be playing Splinter because he's a fucking rat. Sudi, I have a question for you.
Mm.
I feel like whenever anyone from SNL goes on any sort of show, people ask, who's the best host? Or if they want to get saucy, they ask, who's the worst host? You know? I don't want to ask either of those questions. Here's my question. Who would you want to see host?
Ooh.
Is there someone, if you could put aside all ratings considerations, and you're talking about what it's like to work with people and who gets it and who doesn't, is there someone that you're a fan of that you're like, now that I'm inside the show, I think they would score here. I think they would do well.
I really want Ali Wong. I think that would be fucking
It feels
cool.
like that'll happen, right?
I feel like it should.
Yeah.
I feel like it should. Like,
Yeah.
you know, my answer always was RuPaul, and then RuPaul hosted, and it was fucking amazing.
So you got your wish. You've shown you have the power to manifest these things.
Yes.
I would love that. I think Issa Rae. I mean, these are all real answers. Like, you were like, ratings aside.
No, it's an honest question. It's an honest question. I want to hear.
Okay. Here's a tangential question.
Uh-huh.
If anyone could be added to the cast, anybody. They don't have to be a comedian.
Oh.
They don't have to be of the right age to be in a cast member.
They don't even have to be real. They could be a fictional character.
Well, George,
Come on, let's make it fun.
George,
Make
this
it
is my
fun.
question.
Patrick.
They could be CGI. They could maybe be CGI.
Who do you want?
If I could
Who would
add
you want?
somebody to the cast, I would say it should be Rob.
Oh, it's Rob.
Rob.
Because he said he was an impressionist, but I think
Oh, Paul. Yeah, sure.
He does the voices.
Yeah.
Sudi,
He
now
does
you know.
voices.
I
Sudi,
get
now,
it. You don't want Watto to host. You don't want Watto as a cast member. I get it.
Sudi, now, how did you made your wish come true before? But you know how Lauren's office is sort of in its own little area. Would there be any value to leaving little notes unsigned, just saying your wishes? Like, I wish this person would host. I wish Issa Rae would host. And just leave them right in front of his door.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good. Or maybe under his pillow.
Yeah.
Or even something like, I do a lot of talent booking, so I know how you do it, and you get a big cork board with names tacked up to it. All you got to do is just Issa Rae ?
Plop one on.
I mean,
Right.
like, these are all probably people that have been, like, in the mix, and it's, like, always a damn, like, scheduling thing, usually, when you're like, oh, that person should host, why haven't they? It's usually, like, well, they're doing, like, a million movies.
Yeah.
But I also think, like, a good way to be, like, maybe, like, write with my left hand, like, in crayon. Like, if I wanted to host, like, kind of pretend I was, like, maybe, like, a sick kid.
Right.
You know, like
Make a wish
situation.
Make a wish. Yes.
What now? Would it be if you played that as a full-on character, like you came into the morning meeting on Monday, and you dressed up as a character and you pretended to be a sick kid making a wish? How would that kind of spoofery go over? Do you think Lauren would he laugh, or would he just be impressed?
I think that actually when he's most impressed, he doesn't laugh. That's been my experience with Lauren, working with him.
Wow, maybe I did better than I thought with my showcase.
Yeah.
If you think about it that way.
The worst thing Lauren can ever do is laugh at your joke. Yeah, it would murder. It would
It would destroy.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably have to leave the show shortly after that, just so
Right.
the legend could live on. Like, it would be one of those things where they're like, is it true that, like, Sudi dressed as, like, a sick kid and said Issa Rae should host, and then it's a big swing kind of just for, like, a celebrity that she has no relationship with. Then,
I mean, it might not even make it to dress, but it would kill at the table.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Watto, have you, like, I don't know, do you like know a lot of the terminology of, like, SNL?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, did you read the book, or?
I read the book. I've auditioned 22 consecutive years.
Wow.
And I submit a packet every year, and I've also tried to apply through their internship program.
Oh my God! Wow, Watto. Watto, well, this is because there's always like questions of like, who can people play, right? Like, is it weird for like a guy, like a straight guy, to like do a drag character or like whatever?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Watto, do you feel comfortable playing humans? Was that part of your audition?
I mean, do I feel comfortable with it? Yes. Look, I'm a provocateur, okay? As a comedian, what I like to do is push boundaries, and sometimes I miss, okay? So I'll play fucking anything. I'll play a shoe. Also, you ask, like, do I feel comfortable playing human? I'm CGI, baby. You know, you just, you switch some toggles. I mean, not only am I going to sound like somebody, I can look like, I could be a fucking prop. I could be centric.
You have a great face for wigs.
Watto,
has anybody ever told you that?
Yes, it's perfect for the wig.
Watto, give us some impressions. What are your impressions? You do so many auditions.
Yeah.
Yes. Every year. Okay, ready? So here are some topical impressions, okay?
Yeah.
Here's some of the ones I submitted this summer, and I haven't heard back yet, okay? I know. Weird season, weird time. Here are some of my topical impressions. Okay, this is topical impression number 1. Judd Hirsch. Louie, come on, what are you doing here? Give the guy a break. He's just trying to drive a cab, Louie.
That's a good Wes Mandel, Watto.
Well, I was doing more Alex Rieger from Taxi, but sure.
Okay.
Okay. Topical impression number 2. Topical impression number 2. Joseph Gordon-Levitt appearing on Hot Ones.
Oh my God. Wow. This wing is very spicy. I was not expecting that. Wow.
That was good. That was in the pocket.
Thank you. That was in the pocket. Okay, ready? Topical impression number 3. Patrick Kottner.
No. Watto.
Wow. And you know what I really liked about your Patrick?
What?
Is you weren't necessarily going for accuracy. You found the character
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's like, and I see it, I'm like, is that Patrick? But I'm like, no, but you picked up on behaviors of his, you grew them up, and now you kind of made it your own.
You turned me into a Peter Pettigrew. That's what that was. Yeah.
You have to kind of find a thread within the real, like, sort of a static truth of the person that you can wind up. Yes.
I love that you did a Patrick, but I think actually Robert De Niro is going to be doing Patrick this season.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
This is the problem. When there's someone this topical,
celebrities.
When there's someone this topical, they stunt cast.
Big impressions, like the big impressions that everybody wants to see. Like, now the show's kind of doing the celebrity thing with, people feel differently about, but,
if he gets an Emmy for making fun of me, I'm going to tweet about it. I'm going to get so mad. Oh, boy. We got some more fan art. Let me show it.
Oh, good.
First from Goop Goop, we got a GIF from Goop Goop of George.
Nice.
It's a great GIF.
Good.
And then second, Sudi, you're in this one.
Sudi, you're in the fan art.
Whoa.
Whoa. There we are.
And this is from Carol 9DC.
Wow.
Pinky in the brain.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Patrick, why don't you say that name as if it's being announced as the host of SNL?
Do you want me to do just the host?
Yeah, just the host.
Do you want current being announced or like
no? Let's take it back. Let's parto it.
Yeah, you know what? And let's make it a little fun. Let's put a little stank on it, Patrick.
Put a little stank on it, and
stank it.
Yeah,
leading up.
Sudi, let's you pick a musical guest. So Kara 90C is going to be the host, and you pick a musical guest.
Musical guest Halsey.
Okay.
Perfect. And Patrick, to lead into it, you have to name just the featured players. So I want you to pick any 3 featured players of your choice across the history of the show.
Do they have to be real featured players?
Yes.
Okay.
Ideally, people who are on for 1 season.
Okay, done. Great.
Great.
All right.
Noel Wells, John Milheiser, Brooks Whelan,
So you pulled all from that
musical
one
guest
season.
Halsey,
Oh,
and your host, Caroline DC.
that's a good show.
Very
That
good.
sounds like a good lineup. That's a
good.
good show.
Go.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good year.
That's a
Yeah,
good
That's a good app.
That's a good app.
Oops.
Yeah.
I also have to go soon, but my roommate is actually a really big fan and kind of friend of the show, and she wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We've never had anyone swap out a roommate, and this is exciting.
Do you now she's acting shy. Do you no, like it's fine. She's been here the whole time. She's been laughing. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness! What a
Oh
cute.
my goodness.
Oh
Oh wow.
wow!
Wow.
She's shy.
Now, Sudi, have you tagged her so you know where she is at all times? Is that what that is?
Oh, this is from a top that she bought earlier, and she's thinking of returning.
Oh,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I can't believe how everyone does that.
That's great.
That's so nice.
Wow. We love it.
Sudi, before you leave, can I be selfish for a second? As I said, I've been trying to get SNL's ear for 2 decades now, right? And I can't find my way in. And you're such a vet to the show now. You've been working your way up the ladder so fast. I realized, you're saying like, oh, Patrick, too topical. That's going to be stunt casted. Judd Hirsch, maybe not that relevant that much to our audience today. Can we just, before you leave, do like a speed round where you throw out names of characters or impressions and I see if I can do them?
Oh,
I want to get my muscles up. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Wait, can I pull up something in my notes?
Please.
Okay. This will help me.
I'm gonna get.
Hey, Watto, quick. Before you
another
start,
lozenge. Yeah.
Ledlight wants Watto to do the SNL credits laughing turn to camera.
I'll do that as the beginning of my audition. As Sudi is getting up the list, let me take this lozenge, and then this will be part of my slate, okay? This lozenge wrapper isn't coming off. This one is. Okay, come on. I need a lozenge, baby. Give me the lozenge. Come on, baby. Give me that lozenge. Why are all the lozenge papers stuck together? No, not a good lozenge. Come on. Give me a good one. There we go. Okay, ready? Ready? Here we go. Okay. Okay, and Patrick, I'm going to do the turn when you give me a pardo of the name Watto, the flying space Jew. Okay, ready?
Watto the Flying Space Jew.
And Watto, what New York City landmark are you at while you're doing that?
Well, I live in the Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's probably me like banging with a broom up to the ceiling saying, "Hey, Yoko, keep it down." That's what I'm probably doing.
Really good. Really good. Okay, are you ready for your impressions?
Yes.
Because
Okay, here we go.
this
Ready?
is
Yeah.
from the running list of impressions that sometimes I see a celebrity and I think, hey, maybe somebody should do that on the show.
Okay. Oh,
So-
wow. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. The first one, and I'm just going to go in order, is Leah Remini.
I mean, I gotta tell you, Scientology's bad.
That's good. That's good. Gal Gadot.
Yes. Imagine.
Okay. Adam Driver.
What are you talking about?
Leslie Mann.
I don't know about that.
Chris Hayes from MSNBC.
I don't like Trump.
Amy Schumer.
Okay. I farted.
It's good. Do other people have? I feel like I'm giving hard ones.
These are great.
Cornell West is on here, but I'm not going to ask for that.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's
Even Watto knows that's a trap.
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. Okay. Okay. I love Keith Urban. Look at me. I'm dancing in the background while my husband Keith Urban is singing. I love him. You know.
This is good. This is good.
That was almost Pinky, Watto.
No, it's not. I'm putting another shrimp on the barbie while I dance to my husband, Keith Urban.
Now say Narf.
Enough. That's not enough. This is enough. I'm dancing. Woo!
This is the impression.
Really good. It's really
Those
good.
are really
dancing, too.
good. And maybe
Yeah.
also showed kind of me, like maybe that those celebrities don't need to have impressions on this show.
I think that's what we really proved is maybe there's a
Terrible.
reason that no one has done those people yet.
Nobody's done Leslie Mann, for example. Maybe
Sudi, because they always say that there's a number of years that people are at Saturday Night Live and then they go on to the next thing, and would there be a possible future when you're a post SNL where you might start something called Sudi Day Night Live and you could have all of those characters could be it's like all the impressions you never saw on SNL.
Have you thought about that, Sudi?
Yes, and actually, legally, my lawyers have looked into it, and I'm not allowed to do Sudi Day Night Live.
But because if you say it fast enough, you say, "I'm at Saturday Night Live." Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
It's Saturday nights.
Saturday Night Live. That's Daryl Hammond thing.
Yeah.
I wish.
How about you could here's a way you could do it. You could have it be Sudi Day Night Live with Howard Cosell. Because that was the original. They couldn't call it Saturday Night Live originally because they had it first. So if you can claim the rights to that name, then you have precedent. If you reboot Saturday Night Live with Howard Cosell, but you call it Sudi Day Night Live with Howard Cosell.
Think about it. Just think about it.
Just
George, this
think
is
it
why
over.
I
Just
need
promise me you'll
somebody
think it over.
with your experience in the biz in my corner, and it's like you just can't pay for advice like that. So
And also here's the thing. Also, and I've said this to Lauren. If you start your own Sudi Day Night Live with Howard Cosell, let's get some fan art. Because that also makes it real. Once there's fan art, Sudi Day Night Live with Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
Let's not even call it fan art. Let's call it concept art. We want concept art we can bring to put on the pitch board. Yes.
Yeah. We put this on the pitch board.
Yeah.
From the beginning, if Lauren had made action figures of all of the cast members and their characters, then you get multiples because you not only get Chevy, you get Gerald Ford, and it's the same mold because he didn't really change his appearance. So update Chevy and Gerald Ford Chevy. It's the same tie. You change the color of the suits, and you would have had years and years. Imagine all the characters you could have had.
Yeah.
Toys of, and people wouldn't just watch SNL, but then they'd play with little G.E. Smith and his guitar and little A. Whitney Brown doing a Weekend Update commentary.
I mean, when you think about it, SNL has even more characters than the Star Wars universe.
Many more, because each cast member does many characters. Even characters who are only on, even cast members who are only on for one season would have multiple action figures. So someone who was on for years would potentially have dozens or even hundreds of action figures and play sets.
Yes.
And imagine
classroom.
Sudi, we don't even need to be here. They could just keep going.
The merchandising opportunities, I mean, my mind is blown. I haven't even gone down that route, mentally. That's just, wow.
Sky's the limit.
Right.
We should ask before Sudi goes. There's a question that the chat likes us to ask a lot of people.
No.
George Watto, do you know what I'm going to ask?
I have no idea.
It's a big question. It's a big
question. Let's all ask it one by one, and then Sudi will answer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Sudi, were you ever on Herald Night?
Sudi, were you ever on Herald Night?
Sudi, were you ever on Lloyd or Maud Night? Just trying to cover our bases. Trying to cover our bases here.
No, no, and no.
Whoa!
Wow.
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 I only got on the damn cast page because I hosted my own damn character show at the Beast, and that was after a long time of paying for classes
That's how you do
and
it.
interning twice.
Right.
Well, now you're here.
Well, now look at you. You made it. You're
Now
here.
Kind of Abby and Alana vibes, if you know what I mean.
I mean, yes, that's why we ask.
Right. That's why we asked. That's
Well, it's a
why we asked
system
the
that,
question.
inevitably showed how foolproof it was, and
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm tired. I'm
They
tired of
they
the
built
point,
they
but-
built they built a comedy theater
Yeah.
without plague proofing it. They thought they knew everything. They thought they had all the answers, but when a global pandemic hit, they were the first ones to drop.
I don't want to
Because
talk about
they designed their school and their theater,
George.
the one thing they didn't keep in mind was that a disease would ravage the planet.
George, I have told you many times I don't like talking about UCB. It's a touchy subject for me. Sudi, I did a one-man show, a one-toydarian show at the UCB House Kitchen on March 6th, and they still haven't gotten back to me yet about doing a run.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry.
It was a spank, and they have not gotten back to me yet about doing a run, and I'm waiting.
Well, the notes are really thorough and they take a while to type up, and I'm sure there's a backlog. But you're,
Right.
you know,
I did.
I'm sure Michael Hartney's going to go all hibachi grill on my ass.
Right. We're getting too deep. We're getting too deep.
I do think the one note might potentially be that I think the show might have been a super spreader event. Like I think not the spank, but I think like if it were to have a run, it would be a super spreader event.
I mean, now, yes.
Yes, and that's maybe why you didn't get the run is because
But it's also like, it's not like they're putting up anything else in that theater. I keep on saying, look, if you're cool with me breaking in, I'll do the show.
right. But I think that's the note that everybody's getting these days, Watto, which is the show, good or bad, is a potential super spreader event.
Yeah.
Right.
Sudi,
Sudi,
you're the best.
you're the best.
The best.
I'm honored to have been on this show, and thank you for
Sudi.
having me.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you for being here, Sudi.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Bye. Well,
Now, George,
so yes,
our guests are gone.
our guests are gone. And
Time to pack it in, right?
perhaps.
Hit the hay.
Now, I think that means the regular show's done, George.
Oh, but Watto,
Yeah.
thanks.
For what?
Patrick,
Yeah, George, what's up?
thanks.